what is it like to be an ambassador at Emerald Publishing? Today we are here with Professor Hiram Ting. Hello, Hiram. How are you?
Hi, Park. I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It is good to have you back here. So let's first of all, I understand that you are an ambassador of the Emerald Publishing. Could you please tell us briefly, like, what is this position and how do you get to this opportunity?
Well, thank you, Park, for the question. I see it as a responsibility rather than a position. But anyway, it has been a rewarding experience. When Emerald Publishing approached me in 2019, one of the things that I was impressed with is about their focus on real impact. So for many years, we thought Emerald Publishing is just another publishing house. In fact, they dedicate a lot of their resources, their time on real impact. So that is what caught my attention. And when they invited me or appointed me as the ambassador in 2020, I accepted it. So for the last few years, in addition to research and publication, what I do with Emerald Publishing is more about how we can mobilize knowledge into practice. How can we make sure research that we do is of practical meaningfulness to the society and the community. So it has been a rewarding experience. It broadens my horizons, more friends as a result. So all good at the moment.
Okay, perfect. And thank you so much for sharing that, because it's quite interesting and it's quite rare to find an ambassador like this. So do you do any event as part of the title? Like, do you organize event session?
Yes. Emerald Publishing from time to time will organize webinars because of COVID-19. So a lot of webinars actually in Malaysia, in many other countries in Southeast Asia, in Asia. So many times the topics are not limited to just research publication. We also talk about real impact. We talk about community engagement. We talk about how we can utilize knowledge from the industry to make, more informed decisions about our topics, our contribution to knowledge and practice. So webinars have been one of the things that we do.
I remember I went to one or two of the session that is created, and I remember one of the theme was about online digital marketing for business owner or like small business in Southeast Asia. So I remember that it was quite a fruitful type of session that bring what we learn and impact implication in the research and then present to the real world practice and all that. So thank you for that. Now, I understand that you are actually doing a number of editorial at the moment, and you are yourself is an editor-in-chief of journals such as like Young Consumer. So could you please briefly say if there were authors or readers who are listening to you, what are some of the suggestions you want to give to, say, the author who might want to consider the journal that is called Young Consumer?
Okay. Well, Young Consumers is a marketing journal. However, its scope goes beyond marketing. Basically, if you have a paper about youth and it advances knowledge, scholarship about youth, we will be interested to look into your paper. So it might not be a marketing paper. It could be a management paper. It could be about human resource management. It could be about tourism. The key thing here is that your paper, your study advances the nuances, knowledge about young consumer, young customers, young employees. Now, having said that, it is important to note that if you submit a paper using youth as your sample, it does not necessarily mean that your paper will be accepted. Because sampling students, young people, in many ways, is relatively easier, but it may not necessarily advance knowledge, contribution to knowledge. So welcome, submitting your paper to young consumers. Even if your paper, example, is about parenting, parenthood, and therefore your respondents are not really young people. Yet in your paper, again, you disseminate knowledge about the understanding of youth when it comes to parenting. This is the sort of paper we will also consider.
Yes, you made a very good point in terms of it's not about the sampling, whether it's young or not. It's about the contribution to the theory and practice of the youth and young consumer. Okay, I think that is very good. I understand that you have been an editor for this journal and some other journal for years already. Would you kind enough to reflect like what you think you have done well in this role, and then you want to enhance it in the future?
Well, I learned a lot from mistakes, but maybe I will share this point. Young consumers, even though currently I serve as the editor-in-chief, my journey with young consumer did not start in a glorious manner. I still remember my first experience with young consumers was in 2015. I submitted my paper and it was outright rejected. Outright rejected. I did not lose heart, so I volunteered myself as a reviewer to young consumers. By reviewing the papers, I became more and more familiar with the papers which were eventually accepted for publication. After a few years, I submitted another paper. It was accepted for publication after some revision. I performed my reviewing work well enough to impress the editor to appoint me, to include me as the editorial board member, then associate editor, 2 years ago, editor-in-chief. So it took me 7 years from that rejection to becoming editor-in-chief. The moral of the story is if I can do it, all of you can do it. It's about trusting the learning process. Don't see publication as a goal merely. See it as a process where we can learn a lot. Eventually, not only you achieve your goal, you get more than what you bargained for. And it is a value creation process. So trust the process, learn from your mistakes, don't lose heart. At the end of the day, not only you achieve your goal, you will get more than what you bargained for.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for that suggestion at the end there. I think it's really important about not losing hope and then keep working hard ethically as well. So this is what it is like to be an ambassador at the Emerald Publishing with Professor Hiram Ting. Thank you so much, Hiram.
Thank you, Park.
Thank you.